Welcome back, guys. In this section we are going to build one React to-do list with the help of hooks concept. This is the demo. Here you can see we have one h1 text with the project title React to-do list, and bottom of that h1 text we have one input field, and at the right side we have one button. If you type any task in this input field and afterwards you click this button, then the task will be added in this list. Suppose I will write the first task as learn React.js. This is my first task. I will click the add task button. Here you can see the first task is added in the list. Learn React.js and the task number is 1. At the bottom we can see the total number of tasks present. The total tasks is equal to 1. Now I want to add the second task. Learn Angular.js. Add task. Here you can see the second task is added successfully. Learn Angular.js. I will add the third task. Take breakfast. This is my third task and I will click the add task button. Here you can see the third task is added, and for every task we have one button. After completing the task we can delete the task from the list. So suppose I want to complete the Angular.js first. So after completing the Angular.js I will click the delete button. So the second task will be deleted. I will click the delete button for the Angular.js. Here you can see the Angular.js task was deleted successfully. So like this way we can add the new task and we can delete the task after the completion. So now for this I want to create a new project in the VS Code. I'll open VS Code. Here you can see, if you observe the React projects folder, we have a new project with the name Todo, T-O-D-O. In this Todo project only we are going to build this application. This is the application. So first we have to navigate into this folder. I'll press Ctrl C. Here you can see now we are in the to-do list folder. React projects, the folder name is Todo. To run this application we have to type npm start. Enter. It will start executing this to-do list application. Here we go, our application created successfully. Now we will run localhost 3000 in the Google Chrome. I'll copy this localhost 3000 and I'll paste it in the another tab. Here you can see our project executed successfully. Now the first thing we have to do is to remove all the default stuff in the app.js component. Let's go back to VS Code. Select this to-do list application and select the source folder and select the app.js component and remove all the default stuff. We can remove all the header part and write only one h1 text with the project title. h1, the project title is React to-do list. Ctrl S. Now let's see the output. I'll refresh this page. It will automatically refresh. Here you can see all the default stuff has gone. Now we have only one h1 text in the app.js component. So the first thing we have to do is to install Bootstrap in our application, because for styling purpose we have to install Bootstrap. We are using the Bootstrap CSS classes directly. We need not to write every CSS class from scratch. So first I will write Ctrl C in the command prompt. I'll terminate this job and I'll write npm install Bootstrap. It will start installing Bootstrap in our application. npm install Bootstrap. Hit enter. Here you can see the Bootstrap module installed successfully. Now we have to restart this application because Bootstrap is an external module. Whenever you install any external module or library in the React application, we have to restart the server. To restart the server, we have to type npm start. That's it. Here we go. The server restarted successfully. Let's go back to Google Chrome and we'll check it. This is our developing project. I'll press Ctrl C. Here you can see the application restarted successfully. Now we will check by adding one button whether the Bootstrap is added successfully or not. After this h1 tag, I will create one button with the Bootstrap class. Button, the class name equal to, I'll write btn primary. So this is Bootstrap button. So before writing this bootstrap button, we have to import the bootstrap module in the app.js component. Without importing, it will not work. Suppose if I press Ctrl S and let's go back to Google Chrome. I'll refresh it. Here you can see the button is created successfully, but there is no styling for this button because we have installed bootstrap, but we haven't imported that in app.js component. So that's why it is not applying style sheets for bootstrap button. I will write import bootstrap from, in the single colons, first we have to write 2 double dots because bootstrap is present in the node modules. That's why we have to write 2 double dots slash, and we have to select node modules slash, we have to write bootstrap slash, we have to select dist. In this we have to select CSS, and at the last we have to select bootstrap min.css. Here you can see bootstrap css.map. We have to remove the css.map and type bootstrap min.css. Ctrl S. Now let's see the output. Here you can see the bootstrap button is added successfully. Now we have to create one input field and we have to add the one button right side of that input field. So for this we will use the bootstrap grid system. First I will add one button, sorry, not button, I will add one div with the bootstrap class as row. I will remove this button. I will add one div, sorry, with class name is equal to row. And in this we will add one input field and one button. So every bootstrap row have 12 columns. So for input field we will take 6 columns and for button we will take only 1 column, and we will add that content in the center of the page using the justify content center class. Here I will write justify content center. So it will be centered horizontally automatically. We need not to write any CSS program for that. Content center. So whatever the columns you add in this row, that will be centered automatically. First we will add one input field. Input type is equal to text. Placeholder is equal to task name. And class name is equal to, we have to add the bootstrap class as form control. Control S. And for this input field we will assign 6 columns. That's why I will write call md6. Control S. Now let's go back to Google Chrome. Here you can see the input field is added successfully. After this input field we have to add one button because for adding the task. Button, class name as btn success because we are adding task by the clicking this button, and I will assign only one column for this button, call md1, and I will write the text as add task. Control S. Now let's go back to Google Chrome. Here you can see the button is added successfully. Now we will add some margins for this button and this input field. We can add the bootstrap class as m1 or we can add the CSS. So if you add the bootstrap class as m1, it will apply margin 10 for the field. Here I will write m1. This m1 stands for margin 10 px. For button also I will add margin 10 px. I can simply write m1 means margin 10. Control S. Here you can see the margin is added successfully. Now I will add the background color. Here you can see, if you observe the project, we have one gradient color background. To get this background color, open Google and type webgradients.com. In this website we can find all the gradient color background freely. It is an open source website. We need not to pay anything. Here we can copy the CSS code for the background color, gradient background. We can copy anything. Here I will copy this background color, copy CSS and paste it in the index.css. Here you can see this is the index.css body. For the body we have to apply the background. Control V. The background is added. Control S. Now let's see the output. Here you can see the background is added successfully. Now we have created the input field and we have added one button. Now we have to add one hook for taking this input field value. So in the app.js component, I will add one hook. Const curly braces new task, because in the input field we have to type the new task, that's why I will naming the hook as input field new task. Set new task and I will initialize it with empty string useState. Before using this useState hook or useEffect hook, first we have to import it. Here you can see I have not imported this useState hook, so I will press Ctrl S, so it will raise error. Here you can see the useState is not defined. So before using the useState hook or useEffect hook, we have to import that. After writing the import React, we have to write comma, and in the curly braces we have to write the hook name useState. Ctrl S. Now you can see the error has gone. Now we have to use this new task variable in the input field. After the class name, I will press enter. So here I will write value is equal to new task, and for adding every new text to this value, it will change the value in the new task. So we have to write the onChange event. OnChange event. Here we have to write the arrow function. So in the previous authentication project only, we have learned about these input fields. Here we have to write the event as the parameter in the arrow function, and in these curly braces we have to write the function name which is used to change the value of this new task. So the function which is used to change the value of this new task is set new task. That's why we have to write set new task. In the curly braces we have to write the new value of this new task. To get this new value, we have to use this event parameter e.target.value. e.target.value. Control S. And after clicking this button, first we will add the onClick function for this button. Not onChange, onClick. OnClick equal to, and I will add the function name as add task. This is the function. Here I will implement the function add task. So to check whether the input field is giving the correct value or not, we have to print the task name in the alert. So we can get clarity about the input field. I can simply write new task. Control S. Let's go back to Google Chrome. So whenever I click this add task button, the alert should pop up with the message which is added in the task name. So I will add the task name as learn React. I'll click the add task button. Here you can see in the alert message we got the string learn React. So the input field and button are working properly. In the next video we are going to add the logic for adding these tasks in the task list. Thank you.